the day. One of our favorite songs.
What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Booed Up. I'm your host, George Boyd. Tonight, the name of this episode is The Nandi Factor. You guys know who Nandi is? No. Nandi, yeah, Nandi. You don't know? The Nandi Factor. Nandi was the mother of Shaka Zulu. Let me tell you a little bit about her. So the Zulu word for Nandi means the sweet one. It can also mean a woman of high esteem. Nandi was the queen, a South African queen. She was the mother of Shaka Zulu, and she lived from 1766 to 1827. Nandi was one of those queens. If you've ever seen Shaka Zulu, the miniseries, she was very elegant. That wasn't how she really looked. As a matter of fact, they don't even have a picture of her to this day, but from what they've depicted so far, she was royal, she was regal, and she would ride around on an elephant. So they called her the Great Queen Elephant. When she died, Shaka Zulu buried her with, don't quote me on this, but it was between 16 and 30 women to protect her in the afterlife. These women were alive. Yeah, so African kings and queens would be buried with alive people. Sometimes they would break their neck, sometimes they would just put them in a grave. But the reason I chose Queen Nandi tonight as the muse for this week's episode is because, and I want to read from this, she, just like a lot of the black women today, still suffer some of the same abuses that we're dealing with in this time. Nandi was an outcast at her initial village due to tribal customs and cultures. Shaka Zulu suffered abuse because of that. Nandi remarried and repeated the same cycle of suffering when she went to another village. Does that kind of sound familiar? Like the repeat of one bad relationship and going to another bad relationship? Due to the village cultures and customs, until finally she was taken in by another clan who supported the rise of Shaka Zulu and also her rise to becoming queen. The black queen today still suffers, albeit not due to customs or tribal cultures, but rather the culture of the black man. So we contribute heavily to the black suffering of the black queen today. And our culture is not how we dress. Our culture is not the tribal leaders in their spears. It is cheating, the culture of unfaithfulness, the culture of lying, also the culture of abuse, misogyny, and just being a plain old black dog. That culture right there. So it was only fitting. It was only fitting that we bring a very special guest tonight on our show, who has a lot of beautiful pictures on Instagram, by the way. Miss Trails. How are you tonight, Miss Trails?
I'm well, yourself?
I'm good. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get started, I got a little book. You know we do book readings here. Anybody ever seen this book? This is called Life After Death. Sister Soldier wrote a book called Coldest Winter Ever.
Yeah.
You read that?
Yeah.
You read that, Mike?
I don't know.
Cash Sheppies didn't read it. Did you hear about it?
I was thinking more along like song off Italy's Heartbreak.
Yeah. Coldest, yeah.
It's close enough.
Close enough, but not actually, because you actually have to read it. I'm one of those people who don't believe that listening to an audiobook is the same as reading it.
It's not.
I don't think so, but people say it is.
I think there's a bunch of blind people being the difference.
Okay. Now that's not right.
Wait, that wasn't a joke, y'all.
But we're gonna read a excerpt from Sister Soldier's Life After Death book. If you haven't gotten this book, you need to pick it up. And it says, "Be humble, Don't use your beauty as a weapon, a license, or a tool. Thank Allah for it and for all else that Allah has provided you. Miss Trell, let's get right into it. We're talking about value tonight. You look like a woman of value. What would you say your value is based on? Looks, your style, your body, or is it something deeper? Put that into words for us.
Yeah, I don't think like the way you look or dress or anything has anything to do with value. Like I believe in like your soul, your mind, and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like material things or appearance because you can be like beat down and have a heart of gold, and I think that's what makes a beautiful person.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, and I gotta follow up and say this. I saw your bathing suit pictures. Okay, if you haven't seen those bathing suit pictures, it's Trellz, TRELLZZZ on Instagram. You in Cabos?
Yeah.
So when she says she doesn't find her value in, you'll probably find some value in those pictures, But would you say that a lot of women would beg to differ or haven't taken the time to find value in just a deeper part of themselves because they go with what they can see?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in like our time right now, like the BBLs, the lip jobs, the nose jobs, not saying weave because I wear weave, but just trying to like build yourself up and make a new you.
Yeah.
When this is you.
Yeah.
Or this is you. Like that doesn't make you, but I guess, women think that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
But to each his own.
When you think of a good man, and I know there are a lot of different things that women may measure a man for or look for a man for, what would make a man of value to you?
The same, I think, like the same as like for like what I say about a woman, like I don't go after like, oh, he have this, or or he have this amount of money, or he have this type of car. Because if you walking, and you're genuine, and I like you, and your vibe is good, and it's a mutual thing with me, then we'll walk together.
I like that, Mike. You got where your value at, Mike?
A value system. I look at it as a value system.
It's the smooth Mike is in the house.
And I commend her. She seems like she's young, but from her appearance and where her head is, I like that. She sounds like she's well grounded, and sounds like she's had some good upbringing. I look for value system, family values. Look for good character traits. Look for people who are people friendly, who cares about others, and things of that nature. Because if you are a good person, all I need for you to do is to be the right person for me.
Yeah.
But the right person is the good person. Now, it's a good person if it's right for me. So the right person will be somebody I'm looking for with those character traits. And of course, appearance has something to do with it, but it's not a major factor. And as she was saying about the BBLs and all these different things, men are visual.
Yeah.
And women want to hear it. If you look at social media, it's almost like a politics. It's like, I'm gonna like this girl picture, I'm gonna like this girl picture, I'm gonna like this girl, I'm gonna commend her, I'm gonna compliment her, because when my time comes, they're gonna tell me what I want to hear.
Right.
You look good, you sound good, you doing well. That's what I want to hear. And if you hear that about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, you're gonna start believing it, even if it's not true.
Do you think that women find more, in today's time, do you think that it's easier for a woman to find confidence in Instagram?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because it's an illusion to me. It's
Yeah.
like, it's a politic. It's like.
So you can find a life on Instagram and not really have a
Absolutely.
life in the real
It's the
world.
politics. If I like your picture, I like what you said, and I like that about you, you're going to feel obligated to give it back to me.
Trell, how does a man show he values you? Does it have to be gifts? Frame how he has to treat you, or what that ideal exchange would look like day to day in a relationship. And this doesn't have to be a relationship you've been in, but you picturing that ideal relationship. How is this man gonna show you he's valuing you?
Just, I would say, just value, like,
And ladies out there, we're doing this for you because a lot of you out there are basing how we value you off of what we buy you.
right, yeah. Like,
You're basing how we value you, sometimes, in my experience, even off of how you can control us. Tell us to do something if you're that type of woman and we do it. And if we don't do it, then maybe you feel like we don't value you. But we're talking about a deeper place of value. I value a woman, my woman, so much when I'm in a relationship. I don't look at another woman like I look at my woman.
right.
That's how if I can look at another woman like I look at you, I'm not rocking with you. I'm not gonna be in that relationship.
Right.
You know? So how does this man need to be?
Well, I'm gonna speak on this. I have a friend that I met last year in Vegas.
Yeah.
And he's not from here, he's from out of town. And it's just a different vibe just knowing, like, when you know that a person, like, genuinely cares for you. Like, not just about, oh, I'm gonna get you a purse, or I'll get you a pair of earrings, I'll get you a watch. It's deeper than that. Like, it's like, if my car broke, it's like, we need to get the part of we need to get the part of your car. You need to be able to get to work. Like, how the boys are going to get to school. And, like, a big thing for me are my kids.
Yeah.
Like, so if I see a person that's like, you barely know my kids, but you're thinking about them, like, that's big for me.
So he's showing interest in an area that he won't necessarily reap benefits from. Like, giving your kids is for you.
Right. Yeah. So
I like that.
that's big.
Opening doors is a good thing for you. Do you look at that, like chivalry?
Yeah, I look at that. It's okay. Like, just showing, like, respect, but it's not like, I'm not a woman that has to have, like, oh, my man has to do this and my man has to do that. Like, I'm just so chilled, like, let's just be regular.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not, like, over the top, like, oh, my man have to rub my feet, or, like, I'm on Twitter a lot. So they just was having, like, the 50-50 conversation, and then a lot of people was like, oh, because they're not going 50-50 with their man. Why not?
Yeah.
Like, like, how do y'all feel about that? Like, what's the big deal about going 50-50 with a man?
Let me ask you this, Epics. She's a very, 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 very articulate, and this is what we need to hear on the show, because a lot of women don't really take the time to look at the bigger picture. It's not about what I can buy you. A lot of people buy you things and there's no value behind that. They don't mean anything by it. They can buy things. And would you believe that they have some people that actually buy you things because it makes them feel good? They're not concerned about how it makes you feel. It makes me feel good to buy this woman things because I feel like I'm doing something for a woman. But I really don't care about how this woman feels about it.
And then when you take away the gifts, in the minute that he probably can't buy the gift, then what? How do you feel about this man? Like, do I still want to be with this man because he can't buy me this bag?
Yeah.
Or I have this bag and I'm unhappy. I have this bag and we haven't went on a date in months. Or I have, I don't keep the bag.
How do you maintain a sense of high self-confidence? And what that question, what I'm asking is, would you attribute your confidence to like your faith, your family upbringing, or do you just look back on your successes and your failures and get your confidence from there?
Yeah, all of that. Like, I know who I am and I'm sure about myself. So if I get over 50 DMs of everybody like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so this, it's kind of like, thank you, but I know.
Yeah.
You know?
Do
Like,
DMs move you?
no, they annoy me.
They annoy you, really?
Like, really, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Epics, you send DMs?
Yeah.
I mean, I come from a DM era, but by me being one of the people who came from the start of the DM era,
Yeah.
I have gracefully made my exit because DMs ain't where it's at, my man. Like,
Yeah.
listen, I'm telling you, you can come up with whatever you don't. How many, if you had to estimate, how many people get your DM a day?
Maybe about 10, 15.
That's a lot.
This is
And then it's
slight
the
work,
same,
guys.
like, and I'm like this. If you DM and we talking, but if I'm ignoring you, why are you DMing me every day? Because what you think gonna change?
Yeah.
Like,
We about to talk about isms. And isms, we all gonna have a chance to, you guys out there, y'all think about your isms, but what I mean by this is, what are some beliefs you've come to hold on to? For instance, some people say everything will work out. Some people say, in our house, it is what it is. God is gonna take care of it. What's a trailism? Do you have any? That you tell yourself when things get tough, or
yeah,
you don't have any?
it'll
You
be
ju-
okay. Like,
It'll be okay.
It's
What about you,
not-
Mike? What's your ism? You got a Mike-ism?
I have a Mikeism, I guess, but my thing is to be content in the state that you're in. So
Gotcha.
if whatever environment I'm in, I will try to make the best of that environment. Even though I'm not satisfied with where I am,
Yeah.
I will work towards getting out of that situation, or whatever the case may be. But in the meantime, while we're sitting here, let me see if we can bounce some ideas off each other. If I can empower you, you can empower me.
Yeah.
We can encourage each other until we move up.
Ladies, Mike is really trying to land somebody. That boy, he's so polished. It's like Essence. I know Essence Fest is when they come, right? They gonna have a woman that's been watching Booed Up. She's like, I can't wait to meet Mike, because whenever George asks him a question, he always start off with, well, George. Say, bro, what's a Cash Epics ism, bro?
Oh, I mean, I have a bunch.
I just need one.
But I gotta give you two.
All right, 1.5.
Because the 0.5
Yeah.
is to be.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, even if you want to go to, but like, you know what I'm saying? You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Tell the people though. To
You
be.
know what I'm saying? Like, cause when I think of this, and I'm not talking about religion, y'all, but I'm just saying, when I think about trying to decipher religions and stuff, it makes me feel better when my motto is, my higher power is to be with, and that is with whatever it is. The universe.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now my ism
Yeah.
is, and you also gotta think into what I'm talking about. Whatever the thing is that's bothering me, that's ailing me,
Yeah.
that's making me wonder, think, whatever, my pain, if instead of me fighting it, I had to learn, like, instead of showing resistance, if I'm scared or something, you know what I'm saying, like, have a panic attack, man, look, throw whatever you got coming my way, dude. Because if the worst you could do is kill me, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm feeling bad, you know what I'm saying, I'm heartbroken.
Yeah,
I
I remember you had a bad time one day, and you said, "Man, it feel like I'm about to die." And I said, "Well, just die then."
Who I got? Hey,
I told you just die because if it's gonna let's see if it's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's gonna kill you.
And to some people,
That's a harsh.
that sound moral.
Yeah, but that's not. It wouldn't. It feels like it's gonna kill you. Matter of fact, since we're talking about death, let's talk about loss. You lost somebody special recently. Who was it?
my grandmother.
Your grandmother.
Yeah.
How close were you guys?
My grandmother is like my mom. She raised me and my
Really?
sister. Yeah, so it's like Yeah, like really, really close.
So, put into words the impact that she had on your life up until this day.
Who I am, like
Yeah.
everything about me.
What was her name?
Jackie.
Jackie.
Yeah, like everything about me, like the way I think, like my grandmother, like she just, we had like a time where my mama went through like a drug
Yeah.
spell where, you know, she did drugs for, I can't remember how long because like we were really young.
Yeah.
And my grandmother, like my grandmother had like a few dollars. So my mom lived up the street from us in like an efficiency well, you know, just because my grandma didn't want her in the house. So my mama wasn't like the typical crackhead. She didn't have to do things for money because my grandmother, you know, like I can pay for this. It's nothing you have to do. Like she was a clean, you know, like she wasn't walking around dirty or, you know, like she wasn't like my friends' moms, like, you know, it was like a different, like she was kind of like an upscale.
So your grandmother took you guys in and let your mom
just do her and figure it
and
out.
figure
and
it out.
once she figured it out, then we was able to go back
How-
to
how-
my mom. But she didn't allow, you know, like she didn't allow us to like be in that space or witness that. Like it was times that she would like, now that I'm older, I know like she would say, don't go down there because she didn't want us, you know, just to see, you know, my mom. Like, and at that point, me and my sister used to be like, what's she talking about? She talking about we can't go see our mom. And then we go heading up down the street and we go and knock on the door to see our mom. But she wouldn't open the door.
How
But
many of you guys was it?
it's me
You
and my
your
sister.
How grateful is your mother about
Oh,
that?
very grateful. Like, very, very grateful.
Wow.
And she should be.
Yeah. So you watch your grandmothers always taking the load and putting it on their back, their shoulders. That's why I think that's why Medea hit so hard when it came out, because it was
Yeah.
Man, you don't think
you can't
Because
you know
it's
you
typical black family.
yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
They've been doing this since soulful.
Yeah.
You feel me?
What advice do you remember any advice your grandmother may have given you, something that she may have always said to you that just came up recurring, or so you and your sister, something that you heard a lot that she said? Did she have anything like that, or would she just say whatever y'all needed to hear at the time?
Yeah.
Just give it
And
to you straight.
She sent us to church a lot. And that play a big part into like now.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was young, I used to be like, damn, we go to Wednesday like Sunday service, Bible study,
Yeah.
Saturday church, Sunday we at church but it paid off, you know.
Yeah.
Like and as much as it hurt, you know, like her leaving,
Yeah.
like, you know, when you know, like we know God. Like
Yeah.
and we've always known him as a young age. So, you know, like even though it hurt, like, you know, we're just okay with knowing that, you know, like it was her time.
Do you is that your place you go when you have trouble? Do you go to God, or do you talk to a friend first? Because I mean, in my experience, it's been difficult at times in certain situations to find a place in prayer. But there's always someone you can call.
Yeah.
But sometimes you reach a point where every number goes unanswered.
Right.
You know, nobody's there, and you have to figure it out. So is that your place, or do you have somebody that's really there for you?
Sometimes, like, I'm just so open and like transparent about like any situation. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe in like holding stuff in, because I feel like, you know, like when you hold stuff in, like mental illness is like a real thing.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't want to like keep these things like jumbled in your head and then you're running yourself crazy when you could just basically, you know, like talk about
Just
it.
talk about it.
But I've also learned too that you can't really vent to everybody, and you can't hold conversations with everybody, because like everyone don't interpret things the way that you putting it out. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like I have a few, you know, like I love my friends, but it's like it's so many friends that like if you're, I can't talk to you or hold a conversation with you like if I feel like your brain doesn't work like mine.
Yeah.
And I can't expect everybody to be like me.
Yeah.
But I just need your thought process to, you know, like be on the same page as me to hold a conversation, because you have to be able to interpret what I'm saying to give me feedback.
Yeah.
Legitimate feedback that actually makes sense. You follow
Right.
me? Yeah.
I feel
so-
you. I feel you.
yeah.
I think we could sum it up in, if we call it self-awareness. If people are able to be self-aware, they're really able to pay attention to you.
Right.
But if people don't have awareness of themselves, it's kind of difficult when you have a situation for them to, they don't know how to pay attention to them first. So it's kind of difficult for them to pay attention to you. Have you experienced loss in a relationship before? Like a breakup, or have you been in a relationship where you just felt like, and it won't compare to this loss that you just had, but have you had a loss in a relationship that impacted you to help shape the woman that you are right now?
She's too bad to get hurt.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have that loss, how the hell are you so tough?
Yeah. And I feel like that's what makes me, you know, me.
Yeah.
Again, like that, it all contributes to, you know, like me as a person, like the way that I think. You know, like I say, like with experience, like things that you go through that make you, you know, like who you are, and like not being ashamed of, you know, like holding it back and saying like, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Yeah, I've been through it, like, you know.
So describe what being in love as a black woman, for a black woman, is now. Because you mentioned to me that you hadn't really experienced that deep love feeling. If you could imagine it, what would it feel like though? What would that be like? Frame it for us, so you could.
Even know.
No, you don't even know. Mike, have you had that? Have you had that deep love before?
Oh, absolutely. I love hard.
I mean, but have you had somebody reciprocate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a wonderful feeling, man. It's like living in La La Land. It's almost like you're walking on air.
How did it make you feel when it was over?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Tell me that. Do you believe that, as far as unconditional love goes, do you believe that love, when she was loving you, was real, even though it ended? Because obviously it ended. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe unconditional love. It did.
Well, me, myself, personally, I believe all love have some conditions. You know, I mean, we say unconditional love, God may love us unconditionally, but I believe there are some conditions. There are some things that people can do that can violate us, and that can, you know, cause us to think differently or see them in a different way. And then you can't fully love them the way that you once loved them. So they're not getting all of you, and then you don't feel you're getting all of them. So, but I mean, there are conditions. There are conditions, and then there are times when we grow apart. You know, at 25, we were ideal for each other, but one of us started growing more than the other, or vice versa, or we start growing in different directions.
Right.
Epics, you ever experienced that deep love? Has anybody ever had that for you?
That's at moments.
You didn't feel it consistently.
No, I didn't feel it consistent because
From them.
From them.
But have you ever had it for someone?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
What?
How did it feel? How did it feel for you to have deep love for someone, and they leave you?
Bro, it makes you question. It surpasses questioning your manhood. It makes you question yourself as an entity. Like, what is it? What am I? What am I? What?
Yeah.
It ain't about vainness or nothing, but it's like, I don't care who you is.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, do you know how much I love you, woman?
Nah,
Like, you can be like,
you say it like that.
you don't get like, and you know, and a girl was saying right around, you know, I ain't putting you in this category. A girl was telling me, you don't know what love is.
Let me ask you this, Epics. Let me ask you this, and I've seen this. I mean, we brothers, but I think everybody in our family know who's more hood, right? At this point, it didn't start off like that, but I've seen you with choppers. I've seen you with Dracos. I've seen you with. One time I had to ask you, I was like, "What kind of gun is that?" And then one time we were together, and he gets in the car, and he cocks his gun, and I said, "Wait. You ride around with one in the chamber?" And boy said, "Yeah, boy." with all of the street stuff you've been around, has someone leaving you made you question your self-confidence in yourself?
As far as like
being nut because she left. So you thinking all kind of things. Have you questioned that about yourself before? Just wondering, like, have you wondered, man, somebody got one up on me?
Oh yeah, bro, for sure. Because honestly, I don't care what nobody say. Well, I just speak for myself. That's the first place my mind going.
Because most men won't admit that they think. Most men, and it's for my fellas out there and my ladies, so you know, ladies, when you leave or when a relationship is over and you think that this man doesn't care, the first thing that men think about, even if we cheated, is she got somebody else, he better than me, and all these different thoughts that come along with. Let's talk about domestic, relational, and emotional abuse. Have you seen a loved one suffer at the hands of that before?
Yeah.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Have you ever experienced that? No? How was it for you? How was it for you to watch somebody you love suffer at the hands of that type of abuse, like in a relationship? How did it make you feel?
I didn't actually see it, but like the aftermath of it. Like
Yeah.
if you come around, you got a scratch here, or you got you my baby poked me in the eye. And,
Yeah.
that
You know that's not true.
So yeah, it angers me, of course.
Yeah.
Because don't do that.
Right. Would you say that a person that inflicts pain on another person like that, whether it be emotionally, physically, psychologically, would you say that they have some type of deep trauma, behavioral issues, family problems, or even more? Now, it's not just coming from the relationship.
Mm-hmm. That's always my go-to. Like it don't take nothing for me to think something wrong with a person.
Yeah.
I think you're crazy.
Yeah. Epics, let me talk to Mike. Mike, you're so smooth, man. He's so laid back, man.
Right.
Have you ever been, and I know your relationships, they went pretty well. We talked before, you hadn't really had abandonment or anything like that. Good mom, came up with love, but in your marriage, did you guys have many spats, many fights, fuss, arguments? Did it ever get really heated? And how did you handle yourself when it did get heated? Because gentlemen, we have an underlying aggression, and I think that it's useful, but it's just not useful when it comes to our women. And when we talk about the Nandi Factor, on the show, Shaka Zulu impregnated a girl from the village. And Shaka, like a lot of men from my time, I don't know how they feel now, but I remember we used to be really scared about getting a girl pregnant. I can't have a baby. It's going to hinder my success or something like that. Yes. And so when I see so many men or guys having kids now, it's the opposite. I can remember an incident in the lower 9th ward where a guy killed his girlfriend because she was pregnant. He shot her in the stomach. This was a long time ago, but I always had that innate feel like, I can't have a baby right now. I can't do this. So he impregnates this girl from the village, beautiful girl, and Nandi knew the outcome. he knew that if Shaka found out, he would kill her. So she takes the girl and hides her in a village. Shaka found out and waited till the baby was born. And he went and he killed the baby. And Nandi was there and he hit Nandi. He smacked her, his mom. He was a king, King Zulu. I mean, warriors at his disposal. He could have anybody killed, so he hit his mom. And she died of heartbreak on the movie. In real life, she died of dysentery. Yeah. But we don't know if it's factual, if it's real. So violence has always been a part of culture, our culture, when it even goes back to the warrior phase. So aggression is needed, but not with our women. How did you handle yourself? What did you stop and tell yourself in those situations to be able to calm the storm inside?
Well, I think part of me when I'm in a relationship is
Mike pop the pill, man.
I like to do some testing.
Yeah.
And the reason why I like to do some testing is because I know who I am.
Yeah.
I love myself. And there are certain expectations that I look for. So a lot of times some of the disagreement will come from when I'm running a test to make sure that you still love me like you once did. Because if I feel that you don't love me or you're not coming through, now sometimes I played a part on the reason why things wasn't happening the way I expected it to happen.
So what did you do when it got rough to stop yourself from getting so angry?
I get quiet. And this is not, I don't think this is something that someone should take away from here to use in your relationship, but I'll get quiet and I'll sit back and I'll observe. And inside, I'm boiling over. And
so you really are angry inside?
Oh, yes, I am. Because I told you I wanted something. I asked you, I mentioned to you that I wanted something that I desired, whatever the case may be, and you neglected me. You didn't pay attention to me. You didn't respect that. So,
Mike, I can see you getting a little mad right now.
Oh, man, on the real, that is vital for me in a relationship because I expect you to be just as crazy about me now as you were in the beginning, or as you pretended to be.
Yeah.
Since
we're talking about, got another reading excerpt. We got two good books y'all got to pick up. Life After Death by Sister Soldier and Tayari Jones, American Marriage. I want to read a reading excerpt since we're talking about love and talking about marriage. I bought this book in 2018. I was going through a little something. And this is the epitome of a black tragic love story. Black tragic love story. It's modern, but let me read this excerpt. It says, I should read it like Mike, and it says, love makes a place in your life. It makes a place for itself in your bed. Invisibly, it makes a place in your body, rerouting all your vessels, throbbing right alongside your heart. When it is gone, nothing is whole again. Before I met you, I was not lonely, but now I'm so lonely. I talk to the walls and sing to the ceiling. You ever been that lonely when somebody left, bro? He's too dramatic. Hey, Trell. Before I met you, I was never lonely, but now I'm so lonely. I talk to the walls and sing to the ceiling. You know anything about that? No. Damn! Now that's a gangster right there, boy. That's a gangster right there. But that's my perception. That's how I see it. But you want love like that. Yeah. Yeah. Ladies, there's probably a lot of you out there that have never missed a man like that because you have somebody else that you could call and it doesn't mean much to you. You have 5 people, but if you could find what you if you could find 5 people in one, all of the qualities that you wanted in one, do you think that some people are scared to find that? Maybe they're scared to be that vulnerable?
I'm not sure, but I think it's a good thing. You should.
Yeah.
Everybody should have one person,
Yeah.
like their person.
Yeah.
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 And
So,
if everybody just had their person, their one person, I think that they'll have like some people left for other people, you know?
yeah. 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 Mike, you ever had you ever had that experience? Been so lonely after somebody left?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, Beyonce can't fulfill that void.
Yeah.
If she was our treasure girl, our poster girl, she wouldn't fulfill that void. There's just something about the person that you want. When you deeply love someone, you know, it's just, that's everything, man. You don't want to eat, matter of fact, it affects your whole world.
So let me ask you this. Can a man, can a man be faithful in his marriage for the duration of the marriage?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Epics, you think a man could be faithful in his marriage for the duration?
I know I can.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I got partners. I am a man, so I know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I will say that that's not a big percentage of men. And he might say that.
Yeah.
But most of the dudes who I know, at least at this point in their life, put it like this. Girl, woman got some problems, man. Could men?
So as a man, you think that women have a lot of issues with cheating? You would admit that men do that?
I mean, I'm all right.
The answer.
I'm gonna go ahead and break the end and be the best. They gonna kill me for this.
Nah. It's you know what? Let's stay in the safe zone. Is yes.
Yes.
Trell, have you ever suffered at the hands of cheating before? Yeah. How did it make you feel as a woman? How did it make you feel to know you were being faithful to this person? Right? Is that right? How did it make you feel to know you were being faithful, giving your heart, and he was taking it for granted?
I can't really think back to like how I know that like I was hurt, but I just had a lot of questions. Like, you know, like it's just why, you know. And still to this day, if I ask him, he don't know. So
Really?
like I didn't get that closure of knowing, you know, like why. I just, you know, came up with my own theory. You know, like we're just not meant for each other. You know. Like
That's what you had to
here.
say yourself? Wow.
Yeah, we're not meant for each other. You know, like I'm not your person.
Dang.
You know, and like I said, I've seen it like a million different times, you know, on many different occasions.
Yeah.
And way, you know, before the second child, I should have been gone, but I didn't, you know.
You gave it a chance. You stuck in there.
Yeah.
I got to commend you for hanging in there, though, because these days people just leave relationships. They just leave. It's not, it's I love you so much, and then I'm gone, right? Minister Farrakhan spoke a message that I listened to, and he said in the message, when a woman's heart, he said this is what the prophet Elijah Muhammad told him, when a woman's heart is filled with a man, no other man can enter that woman's heart, no matter how much money, no matter how stylish, sex, nothing. When a woman's heart is filled with that man, what will it take for your new man that's coming up, or your friend that you may be, somebody you may be interested in, what would it take for them to fill your heart that way? So that it stays full. We know cheating has to be out, but...
Yeah, but just like, nowadays, like I just look for like just a genuine vibe. Like I want to be able to have fun. Like, you know, that's the main factor. If I can, you know, get with you and like we date and we have fun, that's big for me.
Yeah.
I have fun with him.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be boring. I don't ever want to be miserable. Like I want to be able to be myself. Like this is me. This is what you get. I'm not the fancy, you know, like I'm not the Instagram model
Yeah.
person. You might think I'm an Instagram model.
I have seen some Instagram model worthy pictures, but
yeah,
I get what you're
I'm
saying
not
though.
the typical, Instagram girl.
Yeah.
And I'm just me.
Yeah.
And if you accept me and we have fun, and then that's it. That's like enough for me.
Mike, I know you're single right now. Closing remarks. How are you going to feel that woman's heart that's on the way?
How am I going to feel with her heart? Well, it depends on what she's looking for. That's key, because I can give you a general answer that may, umbrella answer, but it's not for everyone. I would have to know exactly what it is she desires in a man, what she desires in a person to start off with.
So you're gonna become that man, or just presenting yourself as you are right now. If she was here right now, what are some things that you would do to keep her heart full?
Well, if she was here right now and she was that person,
Yes.
well, because she would have to qualify to be that person, just as I have to qualify to be her person. And so,
Ladies, do you find Mike difficult?
I've heard that. I've heard people say that. You never find anyone.
No, but go ahead.
And you guys were speaking on something a little earlier, and I wanted to cut in and say that some of the things you look for in a mate is, well, first of all, you have to be what you're looking for.
Right.
That honest person, that so on and so forth. So when I'm looking at a person, I'm looking at, are they loyal to their commitment? And it does not necessarily have to be another individual. It may be the job. It may be something, a goal that they're going after. Or it could be an individual, the parents, the children. Are they loyal to their commitment? Because if they're not loyal to their commitment, you can't expect them to be loyal to you no matter what they do for you. It won't do you any good. So if you're not loyal to your commitment, you're not honest.
So you're first looking for a woman that's going to be loyal to her commitment. And after you find that, what are you going to do to keep her heart full of you?
Again, she's going to have to fall in love with who I am, just as I'm falling in love with who she is.
So ladies, some men just want to be themselves. Epics, tell me some things you're going to do when you get in that beautiful relationship to keep her heart full.
I mean, I don't think you're asking that, like, for me to go down and list a specific thing.
Nah,
So my thing is that my goal will be to connect with that person.
Yeah.
On a level that I don't want to spend the most money on her that anybody ever spent. I ain't even concerned with laying it down the best that ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
None of that.
Not now, but later you're gonna be like,
because if you tell me otherwise,
yeah. So how much those extends gonna be? Yeah.
Nah, but real talk, I need to cut, like I told this girl one time, like, I really want to know you.
Yeah.
Like, even not the you that you don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's the only way that you can spend your life with a person.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I can only imagine how blissful that would feel.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking out of wishful thinking. But that's what I would do. My whole thing would be, it's a combination of everything y'all said.
Yeah.
And to put my spin on it, that would be the main objective.
Yeah.
Is to not only get that woman, I think that's a beautiful gift to give, for her to finally feel like she has somebody who knows her. She's not the only person who knows herself when she looks in the mirror. And for me to be a part of that and feel that same way, I think that's just something like
Mike, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, and I want to say, me being myself and she loving me for who I am, and it's genuine, me studying her, paying attention to her, that's when I become creative. I begin to think ahead. I begin to answer questions for her before she asks them. I begin to do things for her before she asks for them.
Yeah.
So all of that comes into play. And then I could be that dream guy to her, and she could be a dream girl, but she has to pull that out of her. I'm just not going to do that naturally.
He treating it like a defensive boxer, G. He ain't on the offense.
Okay.
He love like Mayweather fight.
Okay.
So I'm chilling in the back.
Yeah.
You're right.
She throwing hooks, I'm like,
There you
You know
go.
what I'm saying? I feel, because I didn't understand that first, but I feel where you come from.
It's another episode of Booed Up. We wrapping up. This one was the Nandi Factor. It was about black men contributing trauma to black women. Almost the same that Queen Nandi had to endure, but she did rise up and become the great queen elephant that she was. Couple takeaways for the gentlemen out there, the men and the women, but especially the men. We just need to find ways to stay in her heart. And if you could get creative and do that, get in the heart first and then find ways to stay in the heart. Trell, you have anything you want to say? I know you about to, Trell's going to a big festival. They got a big festival in D-Town. We might have to smash out there, man.
Oh, yeah?
Louise out there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You got anything you want to say before you go? Get to D-Town? No? That's it? Yeah. Mike, you good? Epics, you good?
I'm great. Follow your boy. But you know. Oh, shout out.
Yes, listen, you got to go follow Trails on Instagram. You got to go follow Trails on Instagram and follow The Real Cash Epics. Make sure you follow The George Boy Show. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Iconic Culture TV is going up. We got a lot of stuff on the way, so.
In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. Let me see what spring is like, or Jupiter and Mars. In other words, please be true.